All right, Fed Powell today shocked the market just slightly as he cut interest rates previously. However, he signaled that the labor market is still very concerning, as many of you know. Now, in today's video, I don't want to talk about the bad and the dismay and all those things. I want to talk about these bullish top watch setups that I have into the remainder of the year. We're about to finish up September, which has not been a sell timber. It has been an extremely bullish September, probably one of the bullish Septembers that I've seen in the last 7 years of actively trading in the markets. So today I want to give you a couple of setups that I see from some of our Mag 7 that are pulling back, and also some maybe leap options or share buying opportunities for those that are looking for maybe some less expensive stocks that are on discount right now. All right. If you're for that, let me know down below in the chat. If you enjoyed this, give me a like and subscribe and share this out with anybody else. And make sure you save some of these on your watch list, and let me know what you're looking at down below as well. So without further ado, let's share our screen and get right into it. All right. So if you want to join our new updated levels here inside of Leverage University, I've created some new levels, and we've got a level now where it's the apprentice level. Now, this is a level where some people have been asking simply, Brian, like, you get pretty good levels on here on these YouTube videos, and I'm maybe not able to jump on live trading, or I'm maybe more of a beginner trying to just get an idea. Maybe I'm doing some paper trading, and I just want some ideas, some charts. Do the research for me, right? And let me see how the trade or the stock plays out. All right. That is our apprentice level. You can see get all access to trade ideas, technicals, fundamentals, buy levels, does not include live trading, and does not include some of our other access levels here, which are the day trade ideas, right? Some of our swings, some of the other chats that we have here, dividends, ETFs, small account, large accounts. I've got a bunch of other things that are at our main level, which is our analyst level. Okay. That is what most people are in, because you get teaching with that, right? You get education, live education. I jump on some master classes. I teach during live trading. I'm telling you the reasoning why I'm getting into a trade and when I'm not, right? Not just signaling or throwing out something. And then our Leverage U Alchemist level is a little bit more one-on-one touch support. So if someone's like, hey, I want, a little bit more like of a private chat where you can do some trade reviews with me, Brian. Maybe I can show you what I'm looking at, give me a more specific on my portfolio, not financial advice, obviously, but here's what I'm looking at. Where do you think is a great buy level? So we're touch basing a little bit more inside of private chats. As you can see, some of my mentorship people here, I've got private chats with them for those that are at those higher levels. All right. And if you do want a one-on-one consult, just get in, get out. Hey, can you look at something for me? We do have those. So I've added a couple of different levels at some price points that may appeal to some people. Some people are not always in the middle. They're beginners or they're more advanced and they just need a little bit. Some people are like, I want the sweet spot, and other people need a little bit more touch base. All right. So that's all I got to say about that. Without further ado, let's jump into the charts. Now, our first setup here is going to be Amazon, okay? And Amazon has a deep pullback here from the markets pushing higher. Now, I was watching Amazon closely here on this trend line, and from a weekly time span, it was just getting stuck at this previous all-time high. It was trying to break above that 240, tried once, tried twice, tried again, and finally just could not do it. It's got to build up some more steam to rotate back to the highs and try to take it out. Something along the lines of this. That's what people are looking for from Amazon, which is warranted, right? It's Amazon. However, where is the opportunity now? The opportunity now is that when we have top stocks, obviously in the Mag 7 or top stocks that you purchase from that you know aren't going anywhere anytime soon, you're interested in those on pullbacks. And today we had roughly a 3% pullback, right? If we go from the all-time highs here, right, we have roughly a 7 or 8% pullback from the highs at 238.78. Okay, so that is in range of kind of that mini correction type of territory, that pullback territory between 5 to 10% pullback, right? So I'm interested. Okay, now when you're interested, a couple of other confluences that I have is I always want to make sure that it's correlating somehow with the overall market. So I want to check SPY and QQQ to see if those are still holding up previous support levels where they should. And SPY did today and pulled back nicely to this equal high of 596. Now it did break underneath 600 on QQQ. However, it is holding up a previous high at 596, and we got a little buyers that step back in. However, the only thing I would be concerned about for QQQ would be this rejection of 600, and then we come lower back down into the 590s. Okay, so that's my only thing about Amazon is when you're correlating it to QQQ or SPY, is this the bottom on Amazon? Okay, and personally, I don't think so. I think we have a little bit more to go down to the 215s. However, this could be a nice little retracement for a scalp or a short swing trade if you want to pick up this dip. Okay, now here's what I'm talking about. Because we broke trend, we would really need to reclaim and close back above, back above at least 530 and have a solid day close back above that 530 like that. Okay, we would need to see a candle close somewhere like that, get back into this channel, and then we can start doing that. Okay, because when you have a change of trend, that trend can continue. So here's what I'm looking at for Amazon. Okay, 220 is our support. We could get a move back up to this 228 and 230 and 231 level. Okay, but once we get there, what do we do from here? Because like I'm always talking about, that still is technically a lower high where if we don't break back above, we could start doing that. Okay. So that is my only concern, is this the bottom for Amazon? And personally, until it says otherwise, it's the bottom for right now. Okay. So use 220 as your support. You can see previous highs there. 220, 220, okay, 220, 220, 220. This is a nice weekly, daily, and 4-hour support for right now. As you can see, we held up that that weekly level right there. The only difference is this is a change of trend. We're on a downtrend, and we don't know if it's going to trend down into this 215 and 216 level, which is our next support, as you can see right there. So it could continue down into here and then go there. All right. So be careful with these falling knives that are coming down, but be interested in Amazon around 220 to 216. Okay. 220 to 216. Be interested in Amazon, and you can take it back up to the previous low, daily low, which is a very low liquidity drop right here, back up to 224 and then back up to 228. Okay. So those would be the levels that you'd want to see. Break back above will be right there for Amazon. Okay. So that is a top watch for kind of a short swing day trade. I'm interested. They have their Prime Day coming up in a couple of weeks in October. So I'm interested. Okay. Amazon, some of y'all may be like, Amazon, this is the bottom. Rotate all the way back up to 240 plus. Yeah, I like this bottom, but can we clear? Can we clear? Can we clear? Can we clear? Okay. So I'll be watching it. I like it. Keep an eye on Amazon. That is the one level at 220 that I'm watching. It's also oversold on a 4-hour time frame. I like oversold RSI levels on higher time frames. Got a little bit more on the daily, but you can see right here, it didn't reach all the way at the bottom, but 4-hour significantly oversold. We could short squeeze back up. Okay. Potentially this week. All right, another one that I'm watching out for is this AMD, okay? And you may have heard in the streets, but this AMD is waiting on something, okay? It is waiting on something. I got into some AMD calls today thinking we may get some type of little squeeze up into 165, and I got in right around this 161 area. It was just a little concerning that we haven't cleared above this 165, 164 level. But once it does, it's going to absolutely take off. I love this trend break here, as you can see, right? Lower high, double bottom, breakout, and starting to change direction right here. So AMD can make a massive move, very similar to how NVIDIA did with just a little bit of news, and we're headed right back up to that 177 and 180 levels. So watch out for AMD as well for a trade idea for those that trade equity / shares or share buying. You're more than welcome to buy some at these levels, right? Dollar cost average, do your due diligence if you're just a share buying type of person. All right. So that is one for AMD. Now, NVIDIA has been a little bit funky because it's been, trading off news. We got that big pop yesterday, and it's pulling back to an interesting zone because it reclaimed this 176. This 176 is a level of support that we bounced off yesterday with that news, right? Big pop, straight back down, right? That was unexpected. Now, do we sit here at this 176 to try to take off again into the fall, right? I would love one more pullback closer into 173 or 171 if possible, right? If we're going to hold these levels, because there is a little bit of a gap to fill right there. So if we can somehow maybe, get that and then a big squeeze reclaim, I like that a little bit better. But watch 176 to rotate with that positive news back up to 179, 180. Okay. So NVIDIA, slight watch there along with AMD. Okay. So we got Amazon, AMD, NVIDIA as kind of the trades that could play out within the next week or so, next month. And then we've got some bigger trade ideas into the end of the year, which I'm looking at in the white here. Okay. And a lot of folks are paying attention to some of these. The Lululemons is starting to change a little bit of direction here. Okay. You can see that falling wedge, Lululemon starting to get close and close retracement to this low volume fall right here. Okay. Low liquidity fall right there. And we could just retrace right back up to 200. So keep your eye on Lululemon, right? Big money players are putting their money into these consumer discretionary / recession proof / healthcare stocks, right? Going into 2026. They're starting to pull some profits a little bit from tech, just slightly. As you can see, tech is getting a little bit exhausted, right? Everyone wants NVIDIA to break out to 200 and it's just chopping around in here, right? AMD made a nice move up to 186 and kind of trying to rotate back up. And if it doesn't, we're coming down lower. Okay. So a lot of rotation and profit taking coming in on some of our big tech names. Even Tesla, big push, but some profit taking coming in. Meta, profit taking coming in. Just sitting up here on Microsoft, Google, there will be profit taking coming in on Google at some point as it consolidates and gets, just sitting up here above 250. I'm going to be watching this on Google, just sitting in this consolidation. Once it breaks out of it to the downside, or maybe it breaks a little bit, trying to take out to 260 one last time. There we go. All right. Couple more because I want this to be a short video in white here. Keep your eye on TTD as well. Okay. This is another one that is a leap / swing trade. These are ones that can play out within 6 months to a year plus. This is what you can buy shares in, where there's minimum 30% upside on just your shares, 100% plus upside on options contracts that are put out at least a year. Okay. So TTD oversold on a weekly time frame, oversold still on a daily. Nice double bottom trend break here. I like that double bottom that's holding up there. If this week can close out strong and we follow up with next week, we can start getting some movement potentially on TTD if this is the bottom. A lot of interest around this 45 to 42 area. So could get a nice short retracement with a target of 50 minimally right now. Okay, 50 minimally. So do with that what you please. These are the trades if you see in white or bigger trades that may be safer for some of you that aren't as active in trading. Hey, Brian, what's a low risk stock that I can buy right now? Hold it for another year plus, get 30+% on my money. This is where that apprentice level would come in, right? You get access to those channels for me to show you exactly the trade idea, and you can take it from there. As you can see, shares and leaps, right? I've got ideas on bull with the chart, Kava with the chart, right? So I'm telling exactly where to get into these. You can see exactly where I told it to get into bull, which was on the 19th, right before the breakout at 13 bucks, right? And what is it doing now? Starting to break out 14, 16. So if you want to know where the buy levels are with chart analysis and rationale, fundamentally with solid companies, that is the level for you. If you want a little bit more with teaching, education, I would highly recommend the analyst level, which is right in the middle. Okay, that is where most people are inside of our community, right? CNC, still love this one in the healthcare space. Nice trend break there, rotating back up. I've got a double up on this one, minimally back to $60 in the next year plus. We got UNH starting to bull flag here off of this 322. I've got 400 in sight pretty soon. If this continues to play out, we take out a new high above 360. We're going to start squeezing most likely into 400. HIMS, still really love. If you don't have shares in HIMS, I would highly recommend getting involved at some point. I like an average cost anywhere around the $50 range. A lot of us have underneath 20, so do with that what you wish. I like the $40 when it pulled back to this double bottom area, but if you can get starters or entries on shares anywhere around 50, we've got a target on this of roughly 75 to 80 in the short term. I think personally, if they can do right, this is a $100 stock, and a lot of you will agree with that. $100 plus stock as this is rotating out of this bull flag and rotating and going to take out the highs, $100 plus on HIMS. All right. UPS, great dividend stock here. Okay. I'd be a little bit, maybe on leaps if you want to, but I think shares minimally, if you can do it, great dividend stock there on UPS. Let's bring back up Starbucks. I haven't brought that up in a minute, but Starbucks is a little bit on discount around $80. It's starting to move. If we get one more little retracement back down close to 80, I would like that. But Starbucks, nice monthly trend here. And another great dividend stock, long-term player there for Starbucks. Going into holiday season too. We know the holiday cups, all that kind of stuff. So let's see, holiday time last year. Yep, bullish structure into the year holidays. Same thing happening here. We could rotate back up. Already in some of these. Fortinet, okay, nice gap fill there. I'll just bring that up. So those are our main ones for right now. If you want and like more of these, please let me know or join our apprentice level down below. But we got Amazon, AMD, slightly NVIDIA, but Amazon, AMD, I'm keeping my eye on for a big breakout pretty soon. A nice recovery on AMD and Amazon coming soon in the next month or so into the end of the year. If you have any others that you would like to know or analysis on, please let me know down in the chat. And thank you so much. Talk to y'all soon in the next one. See y'all in the Discord coming soon. All right. Peace.